talk about the big kahuna. Maybe this is why you are here. And this is on the 28th as well. So, yes. Let's get away. Here we go. So, yeah, let me tell you about some eclipse. Now, I've discussed the solar eclipse in Libra. We discussed that. That was the first of that eclipse season. Now, this is the lunar eclipse in Taurus. It happens at 1:24 p.m., okay, in 5 degrees. Now, in 9 minutes. Eclipse energy is very heightened, okay? So don't do any rituals because you kind of don't know what you're in for. So any moon rituals that you would normally do during the full moon, I wouldn't do it. Okay. My suggestion. You can do as you please. Now, eclipse is a time for change and forward movement, including births and deaths. There's a lot of kings and royals, queens passing away during this time, okay? But this is, you don't have to be a king or queen. Maybe you're considered a king or queen. Also, Leo energy is king and queen too, so be aware of that, and you can have strong Leo energy. Eclipse also cover things up. It takes 2 years to realize what you did not know from this typical eclipse or any eclipse, okay? From any typical eclipse. Now, let me tell you about a full moon, because this eclipse is a lunar eclipse, and a lunar eclipse is a full moon. So October 28th is the only full blood moon, okay? And October full moons is only October blood, because there's another one, but October's full moon falls at the same time that hunters historically go around and forage for food and prepare for the winter. So they are hunting, and when you are hunting, you are killing, and when you're killing, there is blood. All right. So that's why you have the nickname of October full blood moon. Full moons are related to endings, culminations, and are emotionally intense, okay? And there's emotional energy, and you have this eclipse happening, okay? So the full moons bring things to a full circle or to a full stop. Now, when you have it in a lunar eclipse, because a lunar eclipse only happens when there is a full moon, and when there is a full moon and a lunar eclipse is when the earth comes between the sun and the moon, and it casts a shadow onto the moon. So the lunar eclipse occurs when a full moon is also within 18.5 degrees of the lunar nodes. The lunar nodes play a very important aspect, which let me show you. The lunar nodes is the reason why we know there's eclipse. You can always determine when there's an eclipse when you're dealing with the lunar nodes, because they are only so close to this opposite. Actually, let me put the exact time of this. Hold on one second. Let's put it, actually, let's do this. Hold on one second. Is this it? This is it. Here we go. So you have it at 4 degrees, and you have, no, wait, hold on. This is me trying to figure out the program and trying to tell you and trying to do the live stream. Hold on. Okay, so now we have this perfect right here, 5 degrees in 9 minutes. If you see there, 9 minutes, 5 degrees, and it is opposing, which makes it a full moon when the sun is opposing the moon. That makes it a full moon. Now, these here are the nodes, and when they are this perfect distance, 18.5 degrees from the lunar nodes, that's when you have a lunar eclipse. Okay, so the north node is what we are doing to move forward at our highest purpose in our lifetime, and the south node is what we need to move away from. Okay, now, and sometimes including the gifts and vices we were born with. Eclipses activate these points in the sky. Now, I just want you to know too, whenever there's an eclipse, I was told through my astrology education, okay, that eclipse, that we have all a karmic path. And when there's the eclipse, it is here to bring us back to our karmic path. So we were supposed to be doing, let's say we were supposed to be singers, and then all of a sudden you're over here in the makeup department, and an eclipse is like, no, we're going to end this, because you're supposed to be directed in singing. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So it's a blessing, okay, because it's here to help us our karmic path. Now, there is always this because when we're dealing with the lunar nodes, we're dealing with an axis here. And the axis is the two polarized zodiac signs. So Scorpio is the complete opposite, the polarized of Taurus. Okay. So you're always dealing with that. So here, the polarities here, they have some similarities, but then also some complete opposites. So the lunar eclipse is to cover up its when it's in a shadow okay, it is a shadow so that our blind spots, and there is something in plain sight that we just cannot see. And this could be something with this polarity here, okay? But yes, okay. So what else do we have here? Lunar eclipse is in particular can feel like a full upheaval, especially when it comes to our closest relationships, because the moon represents our emotions and the sun represents our core identity and self-image. And it is also stimulating battling it out with a threatening shadow. Dun, 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 of Scorpio. And you may be nudged to be more clear in how you are seeing your shadow patterns and behaviors and issues that play out in our bonds with others. Now, a lunar eclipse, they don't say, "Can you please fix it?" No, they tell you. It needs to be fixed. That's why you don't have to do any manifestations or anything with a lunar eclipse or any type of eclipse, because God is like, "No, I am here. I'm going to set this straight. Let's shake this up." And so you can, okay. So I'm just trying to let you know, don't do any rituals. I'm going to keep repeating this. Even if you're like, "No, I'm going to do it." No, don't be stubborn. Don't do any. Lunar eclipse often call for a letting go what no longer serves you. It's like an eclipse. It eclipses something. Because lunar eclipses are associated with endings, we could be witnessing some major, massive endings with this eclipse, especially with this eclipse, because this is the last eclipse. But we'll get into this. Is just me trying to explain all lunar eclipse. We're shifting our focus and projects and commitments. So now is the time to finish any last touches on something and then letting it go. It's an excellent time for self-reflection, reevaluating our values, embracing changes that lead to personal growth and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Now let's talk about this particular Taurus lunar eclipse. Okay. Now, the lunar eclipse occurs in Taurus, and this is the third and final lunar eclipse in Taurus as the Taurus eclipse set. Okay. And Taurus Scorpio eclipse set. And we had a lunar eclipse in Taurus that falls every 3 years and in a row, and we are wrapping this up to its final eclipse. So that's why you can say eclipse season. Okay. Now, eclipse occurs 4 to 7 times per year, often showing up in pairs or triplets. And if you notice, whenever I can't remember it, whenever there's a solar eclipse, there's a lunar eclipse, or vice versa. I have it in my, I'm thinking whenever there's a solar eclipse, there's a lunar eclipse. Now, a solar eclipse is very intense. I find that it's more intense than a lunar, but they are intense. Okay. Note that this one of several eclipses of a set occurring along with the Taurus Scorpio axis, which we discussed earlier with the polarizing polarity is what I was thinking. But this is the last of the set. So there was one in November 2021, the lunar eclipse in Taurus, a solar eclipse in Taurus in April 2022, a lunar eclipse in Scorpio, Taurus's opposite sign, May 2022, a solar eclipse again in Scorpio in October 2022, a lunar eclipse in November 2022 in Taurus, and a lunar eclipse in Scorpio, May 2023, before this one. And now we have this one. Okay. This is the end of that Taurus and Scorpio eclipse. All right. The lunar eclipse links to endings, like I said earlier. So this eclipse is really going to be an ending because this is the last. And we may be looking at something major or some massive endings coming to pass with this eclipse. Now, because we're dealing with that Taurus Scorpio axis involved, this lunar eclipse presses us to look more closely at our needs and lacks, and once concerning the balance between what rules our Taurus and what rules our Scorpio areas in life. So look at your natal chart if that is possible. Where's the Scorpio? Where's the Taurus in your chart? And see what needs to be eclipsed. Okay. Because there's something in those names. Now, both money signs. Scorpio is joint finance and Taurus is individual finances. Okay. And you have that polarity, but then you have some similarities. The moon in Taurus wants us to find emotional fulfillment through the simple, tangible things in life, while Scorpio, the sun, draws us our attention to complexities and intangibilities and mysteries. Taurus is like, I can touch it, I can feel it. Scorpio is like, it's beyond, it's a feeling. Okay. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm a Scorpio moon, so I'm not laughing at any Scorpio energies, okay? Ideally, we should find a balance between these two energies, and this is what the lunar eclipse invites us, well, pushes us to do, okay? So this is a good time for clearing up past patterns that have been holding us back in these areas, okay? Lunar eclipse forces us to let go, say goodbye, and face something, especially with that Scorpio energy, okay? The eclipse in Taurus, the practical and grounded reality sign, hold on, my thing went down, embodies us to find arts of building resources and creating security. A lunar eclipse in Taurus could prompt questions about, especially when we had it at the beginning, the questions about our resources and money. And I'm sure crypto and all that stuff became a big thing. Let me tell you some Taurus themes: security and safety, our values, our resources, material resources, self-worth. What gives us confidence is also a very Taurus energy. Don't spend money you don't want to spend. Take care of your body. Listen to your gut. Okay. We can see these changes in the areas that are most related to something that happened within those last 2 years when I first mentioned that first eclipse. Okay. Now, let me just tell you quickly, if I can do it quickly, because, I am a Mars and Gemini. So I like to give you all the details and love to have this conversation. It's like, I love it. Okay. But earth and water combinations, when we have an eclipse in any type of earth and water sign, it can bring confusion to practical matters, or alternatively damp down feelings, our intuition, and our emotions. So be aware of that. Okay. Or um, you may be unhappy and you're not sure what's the reasons on why you're unhappy. So just like lack of clarity. Okay. Alternatively, you may well know exactly what is going on, but you're too tired. Okay. So you have the physical tiredness. So there could be this water energy, lack of clarity, or there could be physical energy of tired. Okay. You may have no time for different points of view and may not agree with those who seek to give you their opinions. You may have to make an effort to give someone else their personal space. And in doing so, this could be the foundation of a worthwhile friendship or relationship. Okay. You may seek emotional security, but be temporarily unable to find it. You would need to show patience and understanding towards others as well as towards yourself. Okay. An unexpected domestic disaster of practical nature may take up your time, and you may spend hours trying to fix it, and it is impossible to fix. You want to have some patience and release and let go, okay? Because then you'll probably be able to fix it after this eclipse passes, okay? Serious problem at work, and you may have to rethink your work methods and how you are productive. And what else? Or maybe even choose a new career or go to school. The energies of this eclipse may enable you to offload a relationship that's doing you harm, and ultimately to find what gives you true love. Okay, so really finding out how you're valued and aligned with others. Okay, so you have that during any type of earth and water eclipse. Get ready for that. Very enjoyable. Now, this eclipse is not going to affect everyone. Also, from what I know, the eclipse affects people more where you can see the eclipse and where it's happening. I didn't put that down here, so Google that. I'm sorry. I know you want me to do it all, but I didn't do that. You know what? I'll actually put it in the description box if that is possible, because you could be watching this on a platform where I can't put that. But anyway, but let me just tell you as a collective what is going to happen. Okay. I am not a psychic. Okay. I only study astrology, and I'm going to tell you what the celestial bodies are saying. But before I do that, let me take a sip of water, because I'm really trying to, dun 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 dun, the suspense, Okay, as a collective, the Taurus is associated with gold. Gold, 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 gold. Or what is the value of gold? It also is about stock markets and Wall Street. Now, if you go in front of that Wall Street building, I think I've only been there probably twice. I haven't paid attention. I know I've been in New York. I don't think I cared about Wall Street. But on Wall Street, they have that charging bull. That charging bull. That is Taurus energy. That's not there for just like, okay, and giggles. No, it is there because it is Taurus energy. Okay. It is an animal and it depicts the Taurus. Okay. Anyway, but that is on Manhattan and it's called Bowling Green. It's located at Bowling Green near Wall Street. Okay. We've seen it. I just want you to know that this is where that Taurus energy is strong. Okay, at the stock market. So be aware. Scorpio is associated with predatory companies. So power hungry people. Scorpio also has the stinger. So you can look for sting operations or operations that are deceptive in operation and designed to catch a person attempting to commit a crime. So you have money launderers. So be aware of that. Anyone who's shady with money, that be aware with that with this eclipse energy ending. The world economy, Wall Street, cryptocurrency, oil, gold, whatever are our resources. Okay. I hope I'm not saying that loud enough, but that is going to affect us as a collective. I know you're like, well, duh, because we've been dealing with this eclipse season and you can just read the news, but just be aware during this eclipse, okay, that's going to happen. And mark your calendars, write it down, look at it some 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 2 years from now. This is stemming from this energy. Okay. So also Taurus energy is about our transformation of values, financial matters, security, and comfort, sensual pleasures. Okay. Whatever we consider our sensual pleasures, like our security and our comfort, be aware of that. Okay. What else we have? Earthly manifestations. Taurus is also linked to our physical world, and the eclipse can influence your ability to bring your dreams into reality. Do not do anything, don't manifest anything. Just be aware of that. And relationship dynamics, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and relationships. So this eclipse may also highlight major things in relationships, like your shared resources, your trust in a relationship, your emotional intimacy, earthly changes also. Okay, physical. Oops, hold on 1 second. Okay, so yes, be aware earthly changes. Oh, it ended right at a big one. Okay, so earthly changes. Yeah, earthly, the earth, the planet Earth. Okay, that could be happening. I'm thinking it's more money, but to each, we'll see. Now, how does it affect you personally? I really love to really discuss the collective, but personally, a lot of people are here for themselves. It's a new day, the era of TikTok and me. Here we go. Okay, so if you have any, okay, first of all, the eclipse is about a final prompt. It nurtures you, it pushes you for improvement, especially when we're dealing with Taurus and Scorpio. So, like I said earlier, look at those in your natal chart. Look at those themes of the houses. So if it's in the second house and then it's dealing with the opposite polarity house, which is the eighth house, look at that and look at those themes of those houses. And that's where you have the eclipse theme happening for you. Okay. Now, this is happening in 5 degrees. 5 degrees is a Leo degree. So Leo is about attention. So this might be bigger than ever. Okay. Life, fame, light, children, creativity, self-expression, monarchs. So, like I said earlier, there could be a birth or a death of a monarch. Okay. Entertainment, celebrities are big with Leo energy. Whoever's on the stage, children on stage. Also, influencers are very celebrity Leo energy. Okay. Also, strength, courage, and hair. All that is very Leo. So this eclipse can affect people with personal planets who are in the 0 to 10 degrees, especially if you have it in a fixed sign. Okay, so fixed sign is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. They're going to affect you. Look at your natal chart. If you need help with that, go ahead, hit me in the DMs and I can help you. If you are in Aries or Libra, the full moon falls in your business or banking. Okay, property, charity, shopping, selling. You will also be affected if you have anything in your natal chart, like I said, with the 5 degrees with Scorpio and 5 degrees with Taurus. There's actually a bigger picture, because when you're dealing with that Taurus energy, you're also dealing with Jupiter and Uranus. And we'll look into that when we get into the horoscopes. Okay. What else do we have? Chart ruled by Taurus is where you are experiencing opportunities, solutions, independence, and freedom, where the blind spot of covering up will take place and be partially revealed later. The cycle ends when Jupiter leaves Taurus, May 25th, 2024. That's coming up. Okay. Now, let me talk about this aspects with this lunar eclipse. Okay, we got a lot with this lunar eclipse. Okay, the eclipse is very busy because it's connected with Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter, and there could be inflated feelings. You can be wrestling with strong urges, and it's wise to just sit and be still. Okay, don't take any action, especially with that Mars. The lunar eclipse is opposing Mercury in Scorpio and sextile Saturn in Pisces. Let me pull that up for y'all. Okay. So, like I said, what did I say? It's opposing here. We know that it's opposing to Mercury. Okay. And then it is sextile our beautiful Saturn. Okay. So when you have these, then it's big news, big news, because Mercury, it's all about, hello, everyone, let's communicate. And that is the same as the solar eclipse that happened with the Libra solar eclipse. And it was conjunct at Mercury. I discussed that in my when I talked about the solar eclipse. And I said there is going to be big news, meaning everyone's going to talk about this. And that's all everyone talks about. It's all in the news. Huge. Okay. So you have that same kind of aspect. Not kind of. You have that same with this. Okay. What else do we have? Big news, important information, major communications with this eclipse. We can also give more focus to neighborhoods because we are dealing with Mercury. Mercury rules that third house, and neighborhoods, communities, schools, and young people, all mercurial themes. Now, when it's sextile that Saturn here, you have great news. It gives us boost of discipline and focus. We might have make some strides with something that we've been working on for a very long time. It can experience some degree of success. Okay, we may have a sense of being more responsible, and we can manage them well and not be overwhelmed or crushed, because we're dealing with that Saturn energy and our emotions, sextiling. Okay, now Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter with that hard aspect. Where's my little, because they're connected here, but they are opposing. That Mars is opposing here. This is opposing there. Okay. So because we have that, not only do we have the exaggeration of things because Jupiter is so huge and expansive, we have the news and we have revelations. It could be blown up. It could be very dramatic. Just just be aware of that. The eclipse also harmonizes with Saturn. So we have that as the positive, practical level, but be aware of the drama of it all. Okay. Now let's go. And that's what I have for the eclipse. I will do the more of the horoscopes. Okay. Now let's move on to the next day. Actually, let me remove this. And we are going to move on to the 29th here. Now we have the Mercury is going to be conjunct. Ooh, look at that. 12 degrees. Okay. And that happens at 7:21 a.m. Mercury is conjunct Mars. So just be aware of intense communication. Scorpio is already intense, and Mercury is in Scorpio. Mars is in Scorpio. So just intense, direct, passionate, very sex. Okay, that could be happening. Deep insights. You can deal with the probing mind, really getting deep, getting beyond the surface level. Psychology, huge. Determination. Mars brings determination, remember, because it's very focused in that Scorpio. And you're more likely to take decisive steps to pursue your goals and passion. Very assertive energy, because you have the Mars already assertive, and then you have the Scorpio, who is very like, I know my worth. I have the power. I am strong. Scorpio energy is very strong. And so you just have very assertive and forthright in communication with that. Passion and conviction, especially with your words and actions. Investigative skills, very sharp with this energy. Okay. You are going to have the drive to pursue mentally whatever you want to. So if you are trying to uncover secrets, analyze some data, really get to the bottom of any complex issues, go ahead. Also, if you're into conspiracies, you can probably uncover some conspiracies with all this energy here. Okay. Especially if it's placed in a certain house. Yes. Okay. Verbal combat. Okay. That's the negative side. Be aware of that Scorpio not being too intense. Okay. Because you have this conjunct. That means they're sharing. And sometimes this could lead to verbal confrontations and arguments. Be mindful of how you express your thoughts and be open to constructive discussions, and do not try to overpower anyone with your words. Okay. Problem solving, great with this energy. Focused communication, also great. Okay. So let me just tell you guys. Next week, we have Saturn goes direct in the sign of Pisces. Okay. So all of those conspiracy is more Neptune, but let's get into the energy of restricting. It makes me think of, I was watching YouTube videos and they were like, you are not Christian if you do this, you are not Christian, all that. It would ease up just a little bit, not ease up. But also we have Halloween, which is very Scorpio. But on Halloween, Venus and Virgo trines. That Venus is still socializing in the sign of Virgo. It trines Uranus. So expecting some I was about to break it down, but we'll wait until next week because I want you to look forward to these things. But very positive energy on Halloween. Okay, so let me pull some cards for the collective for the week. What do we have for you guys who's watching this, and for us? Okay, not just for you guys. What do we have for us? The cards that I am using is my African Tarot, one of my favorite tarot decks. Okay, we have cards that want to pull out, that just fly out. We have the Knight of Swords. This is double air. So it's all about communicating this week and really moving fast in communication, okay? Because the air moves like the wind. So really moving fast in communication, double air, really thinking and communicating, analyzing and breaking things down, okay? Through our words, having some clarity too, through researching, because Knight in Swords is going to read, and research, okay? And communicate. Also very social energy too. Now we have the Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is more like stealing. Beware of not stealing people's words, stealing some ideas, cheating when it comes to communication, or cheating when it comes to your mentality, like maybe not even trying to read the whole book, read part of the book. But this is very air energy. Air is into the logic and the thinking and communicating of things. Also, communication is also email. It's also texting. Okay. Social media. If you're in a dating website, if you're communicating on air, be aware of that. So that is more of a negative thing. I'm going to pull one more card, and we'll pull from the bottom because we're dealing with Scorpio energy. So we want to get it not deal with the surface. Ooh, we have the King of Cups. This is very Scorpio, a lot of water energy, and this just representing Scorpio energy. So really tapping into that intuition, also having the need to feel compassionate, loving, and nurturing towards others. Scorpio energy also is very intense and positive intense. This is not upright, so it's not negative Scorpio, it's positive Scorpio. So really having the power, really going beneath the surface area. I know I've said that several times with Scorpio, keeping it real. We left the Libra energy, and now it's time to keep it real. Really get deep. I cannot say that enough. Go off of your intuition. What are you feeling? What is your intuition telling you? And that is going to be 100% right. But let that be the nudge to open you up. Now, whatever you guys are experiencing with this cheating, with this, you don't like the way you're, it's also infidelity. Be aware of that. And you want to go into the alignment of Scorpio. Be very nurturing, compassionate, tapping into the intuition, being very spiritual, connected with God, going off of your feelings, having empathy for others. Okay. And that's what I have for the week. I hope that resonated with you guys. These are the cards. And yeah, so now we're going to do the horoscopes. And when we do the horoscopes, you guys, let me put up my banner. It's best to look up your sun, moon, and rising. When you're doing it, go ahead and check all three. And we're going to really talk about this eclipse, okay? Okay, Aries, let's get into you. Now, your eclipse is going to happen in the second house. It is the house of finances and values. Okay, let me actually pull this up here. This is kind of tricky for me. Okay. The eclipse is on this day here. And hold on. I'm just making sure. The 28th is the eclipse. Yes. We have the full moon. Let me go back to my Aries notes. And let me go to Aries actually. Where are we now? Here we go. So the eclipse is happening literally on that axis of the second house in Taurus. And can you guys see this? Let me make sure. Yes. The second house in Taurus and then a house in the eighth house. Okay. So financial matters is the focus, and there's some closure with that. Maybe some closure areas with insurance, property value and inheritance, additional incomes, banks, cryptocurrency, the NFT market, and valuables. Eighth house and eighth house of intimacy as well. Your income versus your joint income. Okay. Also, you have that Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, and that is happening in that second house too. So all of that, this is big, big, big money for you guys. Big serious ideas with that. So there will be some cover ups that would take place to reveal all of those things that I just discussed. Okay, so let me pull some cards for you guys. Aries. And we have the Magician. The Magician is very action orientated. Okay, it's also very like God gave you all the tools, so use the tools that God has given you. It's about manifesting. Do not manifest for this eclipse, but know that whatever this eclipse is giving, it's shutting down for you. You have all the tools already that God has given you. You have the pentacles, the swords, and you're probably like, what does that mean? You have all the elements. Okay, so you have the water, which is compassionate. All of us have this within us, which is about our intuition and our sense of love and compassion and taking care of others. And then you have the pentacles, which is how to be resourceful and to use your body physically to obtain whatever you deem as a resource, and to also share those resources. Okay, then you have the swords, which is able to think. Well, pentacles, I wanted to say it's practical, but you also have this sense of being logical and communicating in a very clear and communicative way, and having clarity. Okay, and researching. Okay, and socializing. Okay, that's also very air energy. And then you have, what did I say? Oh, the passion, the creativity, strong in your convictions, the strength, okay, of the fire. And you have the masculine and feminine energy within you. And this is what it's saying. You have the magic to do it all. Okay, so that's what you have for this eclipse as the card that's pulled for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yes. And don't forget to check your other signs. All right, bye. Okay, Taurus, let's get into it. Let me pull up your chart real quick. Taurus, we have your full moon happening in that first house. And your first house, this is about a title, your appearance, your reputation, image, profile, your name, your wardrobe, your height, your shape, your branding, all that is dealing with this eclipse, and there's an ending, and it's in the sign of Taurus. So it's a resource in that aspect. Also, you have that eighth, not the eighth house. Then you have the polarity, which is relationships. That is big. Okay. Remember in Scorpio, so maybe the relationships are a mystery, or they're very private. Okay. And you are not being private because you're in the first house and you're very on stage or big out there. Okay. But it's just all about you versus relationships. So be aware of that. This eclipse will bring changes and revelations related to your personal identity and how you present yourself to the world. You might have to reevaluate your self-image and appearance. Okay. But don't have imposter syndrome. You might feel like you're in a standstill with your growth. At this point, you are more than familiar with the way, because you had this eclipse already at the beginning in 2021, and now it is at the end. So be aware of that. Okay. Let me pull some cards for you guys. Ooh, we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, Four of Pentacles is really being resourceful and keeping that coin. Okay. Save your money, think practical, keep everything, your resources close to you at your heart. This is a little selfish. So it's fine to be selfish when it comes to your resources. And this will make sense in that first house. So this is like, okay, I have to worry about me, not in a selfish way, but to have stability, okay, and to be practical. So this is person who is saving all of the coins. Look, he's stepping on them, he's holding it. Where can he stuff the money? Okay, so if this is a hint for you to save, if this is a hint for you to be more practical, yes, be more practical. Also, you have that Jupiter and Taurus in that first house, and remember, you experience opportunities and solutions and independence and freedom. So there's a cover up taking place in that first house. Okay. Be aware of that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Gemini placements. Let's do yours. Can you see it? You can. Okay. So you have it in your 12th house, this eclipse. Okay. So there could be, my Alexa just said something. That was weird. Okay. So there could be something with Christianity, Judaism, sorry. Okay. Buddhism, Islam, whatever religion or spirituality you practice, therapy, counseling, hypnosis, mediumship, tarot. I'm a tarot reader. Spirituality, like I said earlier, humanity, okay. I can't say the word. Okay, but taking care of others. Okay, having compassion for others. Also, addictions are here, and secrets are beyond, like beyond this world. UFO. All that could be the eclipse is going to be affecting. And you have your Jupiter and Taurus happening in that same house. So remember, there's some opportunities and solutions and independence and freedom that you're going to be experiencing, and it's all covered up, but it's going to be revealing itself soon. Issues related to your subconscious mind, secrets or hidden matters may come to surface with this eclipse. There's going to be some closure with this, okay, and some clearing up. Especially probably something that's probably testing your faith or spirituality. Now, the 12th house, the polarity to that 12th house is the beautiful, I'm sorry, here we go. 12th house is that beautiful 6th house. Okay. So this one wants to make it all be seen and practical matters. Okay. Where this one is like, la, 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 la. I don't have to see it. I want to feel it. Okay. So be aware of that. But this is great balance because you have that water in that energy. But there's some closure going here, and there's some polarity with the ego with here. Okay. Remember that day, all of those aspects that I mentioned earlier, that's happening in your 6th house. And your 6th house is all about how you do your day-to-day routines, and how you are at work, and what else? Routines, work, health, your pets. Okay. So your lifestyle basically. So be aware of that. And let me pull some cards for you guys. Oh, I wasn't even showing you the chart. Let me show you the chart. I don't know why I didn't show. Here we go. I thought it was showing, but here it is in that 12th house, opposite of the 6th. And you remember the aspects that I discussed earlier. And we have Jupiter and Uranus. You have already been experiencing this. The eclipse is going to shut that down. help get some closure with this energy here. And remember, in May, this one will be moving moving on over here. Okay. All right. So let me pull some cards for you guys for this eclipse and this week, but really the eclipse. Okay. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's all about saving that coin and being very practical and moving very slow. Okay. Now you have it in that 12th house, which is really about being alone, and try to not be lonely, but really seek solitude in a healthy way. Really take your time. This is someone who is practical, someone who is logical too. They're like, the emotions are not strong here, but you have it in that 12th house. So you want to have that balance with this earth energy, which is more of that Virgo over there. Okay. Paying attention to the details. So the emotions are on one side of the water, but it looks like God wants you to focus on that Virgo energy and really practice the details and taking your time and really focusing on that health too. So if there's an addiction thing that you're dealing with, really focus on that health. Now there's some conscious things that could be happening in this closing, and you probably want to step into the more physical aspect. Okay. Yeah, especially you have that Taurus energy in that house. All right. So I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Cancers, let's talk to you about your astrology. Now, your eclipse is happening in the 11th house. Friends, groups, allies, teams, clubs, societies, associations, bands, charity, political parties, networks, and whatever you deem as like a circle of like a network circle of friends. Okay. It's going to bring changes possibly in your friendships, in your group affiliations, in long-term goals, because you're talking about your dreams and your hopes. Also technology and future. I find when I have this placement in here, I'm always having issues with technology. So be aware of that. And there's some closure happening, some eclipse happening. And then two, let me just pull this up for you. Actually, let me show you first, because I have a mistake doing that. Oh wait, actually, I just like that the background is not showing the right thing. Okay. So Cancers, yes, yes, 11th house. So you have it in that opposite house here in that 5th house. Okay. And that 5th house is all about fun and romance. Okay. So it's like social versus romance, or social versus your kids, your friends, your networking versus your kids, your hopes and dreams versus fun. Okay. So be aware of that and remember these aspects that we discussed earlier. Now you have these two major planets in here, so you've been dealing with this. Okay. And remember, this is big opportunities and solutions and independence and freedom. Okay. All that, there's going to be some closure here, especially with that Taurus energy, because this is already in Taurus. Okay. So let me pull some cards for you guys, Cancers. Ooh. We have the Queen of Swords that just popped out. And the Queen of Swords is like the practicing of, not the practicing, it is water energy and it's also air energy. So it's nurturing logic. Okay. So like communicating in a loving way. Okay. That is more what you get with this, are really using your intuition to communicate, using your intuition on what to research. So it's like a Mercury in Scorpio kind of energy. Yeah, so really using your senses of your intuition, your compassion, your creativity in research and being logical and communicating, also socializing. The Swords air energy loves to be social and being with others. Okay, like in your community, or even like relationships, because Libra is air. Okay, and Aquarius is your friendship group. So yes, and this is happening in the air group, right? Yes. Yes, this is happening in that 11th house. So with that 11th house energy, you really want to be nurturing. Okay? You really want to go off of your intuition. Okay? More than anything. And if you're like, what's my intuition? Whatever that inside saying, like, just doesn't feel right, intuition. Okay? If you're always like, your dreams, in your dreams, it said don't go. In your dreams, it says you shouldn't be a part of this group. That is your intuition telling you in a calm way. Intuition doesn't operate off of fear either. Okay. So, yes, that is it. I thought I was doing it wrong. group at that time. So see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leos. Now your eclipse is happening in, let me see what house. Let me actually show you while I'm looking. It is happening in the house, the 10th house. Okay. It's all about your career and public image. Okay. So there's some closure happening or some covering up happening in your career, profession, vocation. Okay. Vocation could be something like, like you could be a grocery store worker. And your goal is not to be a grocery store worker, but you make people happy. Okay. Academic career, unpaid work, social status, success, your ambition and achievement. There's some closure happening here. Okay. Also, you have that Jupiter and Uranus there. Remember that. And then what's on the opposite, that fourth house of your home, your family. Also, this is dealing with father and masculinity. And this is dealing with mother and the future. This is more future, but what's going on in the long term, what happened in the past. Okay. And remember, we have these opposing aspects, which I discussed earlier. And this is an assigned Taurus. So your public image and public standing could be a focus, changing related to your professional life or your reputation. It could be happening. Okay. Some professional attunement. You're feeling super uplifted by your recognition, but then something is covered up. Ooh. Okay, especially with the Scorpio season. So be aware of that. Yeah, so let's pull some tarot for you guys, Leos. And let's see what else we have. Just be aware of the cover up that could be taking place and will be revealed partially later. And then will fully be revealed when that Jupiter leaves Taurus. So we have a lot of air energy for a lot of people today, but we have the swords and it's in the 10. Now 10 is the ending and beginning of a journey. 10 also is the beginning of infinite possibilities because the journey is at the end. So if you're feeling some pain, especially when it comes to words and lack of clarity, because the clouds is bringing lack of clarity with your mental, be aware of that this is going to be an end. Now also you're dealing with some land and water. So you have the earth and you have the Taurus and you have the Scorpio energy. So there is like, practical matters, but very emotional. But just know that it's the end. Also, this could be some physical pain that you're having. This eclipse is going to bring that up. Let me look again at the chart. Yeah, of course I said the Taurus, and but on the stage, your reputation, something could be ending with your reputation. It could be very painful, and maybe it was communicated, maybe it was like email blast, or maybe it was something with Instagram, kind of what I think, because Instagram is like on stage, or like you're popular on stage kind of situation, and it ended in some words, like someone ruined your reputation. But that eclipse, like I said earlier, an eclipse is here to bring you back to your karmic path. So it may seem very painful, especially when you're getting this card. It seems painful, but it's an ending to a new beginning with infinite possibilities. You are starting a new journey. Okay. I hope that resonated with you guys, Leos, and you guys are fixed energy. So you're like, I don't want change. Nope. You guys are stubborn. I get it, but I'm just reading what the cards say. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Virgos, welcome to your horoscopes, and I'm going to do your tarot. Now, the eclipse is happening. Let me pull up your chart. And I keep saying, let me show you, because I keep forgetting to pull up the chart. I'm just looking at it, and you guys aren't looking at it. Okay, so Virgos, I'm checking my time too. Okay, Virgos, this is happening in your 9th house. And Jupiter is in the 9th house, Uranus in the 9th house, all in the sign of Taurus. You're very familiar with this energy. But remember, there is going to be some cover up that is going to be revealed partially later, probably more when this Jupiter leaves that house. But this eclipse is happening there. And then on complete opposite, in that 3rd house, which is ruled by Mercury, so it's very Gemini energy, you have your community, or you have like you're writing the book versus the publishing. Remember, there's a polarity here, your day-to-day community versus the world. Okay. Now, this is dealing with foreigners. This is dealing with foreign countries. This is dealing with publishing. This is dealing with the World Wide Web. Okay. Translation, export, immigration. That is what we get. Your beliefs, also higher education and long distance travel plans might be reevaluated during this eclipse. It's a time for expanding your horizons. Okay. It's a time about finding your peace in the chaos and surrendering to the unknown, because you have the Uranus there too. Okay. Let me pull some cards for you guys, and let's see what else we have for my Virgos. We have Justice. Ooh, Libra. We just left Libra, but there is going to be with this. Oh, wow. Also, too, I would think law. This is also dealing with law, this house here. So be aware with that. This house that all these placements are in, this is also dealing with law, and this is dealing with law. Okay. So be aware with that. But find some balance when it comes to your communication here. Just fairness. What else do we have? Relationships, be aware of that. What else do we have? Just balance, harmony, justice, something with law that will be on your favor. And remember that the eclipse is going to eclipse this. Okay. But I'm thinking, because we have justice and we have the ninth house, could be law with you guys. Okay. Let me pull up and it's a major arcana, so that's a big one. King of Wands is in the bottom of the deck for you guys. So with the Justice and the King of Wands, you have to stay strong in your convictions. Do not waver. You have to be very passionate and courageous. Okay. Very external energy, both of the cards. Okay. So do not hold it in. Really exert yourself out to the world. That's what masculine energy is. External. Do not be internal with it. Okay. But it's in an upright. It's not in a reverse. So we don't need to lash out, because remember the aspects we have with that eclipse. So be calm, but also stay strong in your convictions. Be very brave. Say what you really feel in a matter of fact way, but without hurting feelings. Just want to be very clear in that matter. What else do we have with a knight? Okay, when we deal with Knight of Wands, King of Wands. Sorry. When we're dealing with King of Wands, is double fire. Okay. It's very strong, very courageous. Everyone's going to you as a role model when it comes to your advice and being the boss. You are the boss with this energy too. It's a very strong leader energy. Okay. So be aware of that, especially if you have this ninth house energy. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Libras, let's see. You have eighth house eclipse. And in the eighth house, we're dealing with your wills, inheritance, trust funds, legacies, mortgages, divorce settlements, joint bank accounts, shares. Also, Jupiter and Libra is in that same house. And when Jupiter leaves on the 2024 May, there could be some closure there. But remember, there's something that's covered up with those things. The eclipse could bring transformation, also power struggles, issues related to share resources or intimacy intimacy. It's a time to dive deep, especially psychologically with the matters. Now on the opposite scale with that eighth house, actually, let me pull it up for you guys. On the opposite house for my Libras. Okay. For the opposite house, yeah. The opposite house is your second house, which is all about your finances and resources. Remember that opposite polarity, that tug of war you have, is almost in reverse. Taurus is really over here. Scorpio is really over here. You're having this really like balancing act in this seesaw effect here with your ego. Remember the aspects that I mentioned earlier about this conflict. Remember, take your time, especially with this Mars in the second house is fighting for the resources. Okay, fighting for what they deem very secure and not safe but secure. And then there's some transformation happening with where you feel safe as well. But when this little sucker big Jupiter moves here, it will be some closure there. Okay, so let me pull some cards for you guys, Libras. Okay, so we have some heartbreak going on here. There's some heartbreak, maybe with words, maybe with love. Could also be a surgery because you are dealing with that second house, the physical body. But be aware of that. See, it has the same Kofa symbol, which I have that same tattoo here. It's covered up. But the Sankofa is to learn from your past, and you won't repeat your past when it comes to this heartbreak. There may not be some clarity here. Whenever we have the clouds, there's cloudy judgment. But when that washes away, you need to be aware of your words and your communication and have some clarity there. But during this heartbreak, everyone has it. Physical heartbreak, mentally, emotional heartbreak, everyone has it. Be aware of that. I'm going to pull some at the bottom here. Yeah, and then we're dealing with luxury. So it looks like in the eighth house, this eclipse is going to bring some heartbreak, but this financial thing is going to make you self-made, basking in some luxury. So you have to have the balance between the both to learn the lessons with this eclipse. So be aware of that, Libras, because you guys are very balanced. Okay, and that's what I have for your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want more, go ahead, click the link in the bio. I will help you. All right, bye. Okay, Scorpios, let's get into it. Scorpios, your eclipse is happening in the seventh house. This is all about relationships, right? Husband, wives, whatever your partner is, because I know some Libras who are very close to their sisters, okay? Just whatever you are, the relationships, okay? Civil partnerships, engagement, divorce, separation, professional partnerships, duels, legal issues, open enemies, okay? This eclipse will affect your relationships, both personal and or business. You might experience changes in your partnerships and how you relate to others. Your relationships are shifting because you're dealing with that Scorpio energy. And you are a Scorpio, but remember the polarity is the Scorpio. Revelations may come up to help you decide which ones are worth saving. Okay. And let's see also that Jupiter is in that same house. So you've been dealing with relationships for a while, and something's going to come to a close, or something is covered up with that. All right. Oh, look at this, Scorpio. You love this. There is a transition happening, and there's also the sense of letting go, mentally letting go. So you can have some calm waters. Very positive card. It's a transition. There's a sense of letting go and leaving. Okay. And just remember to pack light whenever you're going on a voyage. Also, to calm waters, be calm with your words as well and how you communicate. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius. Now, this is happening in your sixth house, the eclipse, right? So, sixth house is representing your paid work, your unpaid work, your housework, doctors, dentists, food, drinks, fitness, drugs. Also, is a thing here, especially when you're dealing with that polarity with the 12th house. Okay, lifestyle and your routines. Also could be dealing with pets, right? And some analyzing, how you analyze things. So health and work related matters will be prominent. You may need to work on changes in your daily routines, your work, and your wellness habits. Overdue for self-care is maybe the importance here. The lunar eclipse was occurring in the 12th house in spirituality and the 6th house of wellness, making your psychological and spiritual wellness a focus, as well as your day-to-day routine and health. The first lunar eclipse helped you with this, with the dreams and spirituality. This lunar eclipse is shutting it down with the tangible and physical things in attention to health. Something is eclipsing with this because Jupiter in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus is also in that same house. So experiencing opportunities, solutions, independence, and freedom, all in that aspect of work and all the things that I said at the beginning. Okay. And also remember there's a cover up or something's going to be partially revealed with this. Okay. Sagittarius. Ooh, I'm a Sagittarius rising. So I want to see if this relates to me. Okay. Oh, we have a major arcana. There is what is your truth? What is your calling? It's very like honest, like wake up. There's a calling here you're meant to have. It's so interesting to me because it is an eclipse. And I said earlier, an eclipse is like your awakening, your calling. And this is like an awakening, your calling. So this eclipse is going to bring an awakening for everyone and make this cover up that's partially going to be uncovered is some type of truth or an awakening. Like, what are you meant to be here for? What are you here to do? Okay. I'm going to pull at the bottom And then we have the Seven of Cups, and Seven of Cups represents some illusions, cloudy judgment, also materialism, because you are dealing with that Taurus. So that's finances here. This is the cup. So we're dealing with emotions, but there's cloudy judgment in making a choice. There's too many options, and when you have too many options, there's cloudy judgment. Very materialism too, like, ooh, I love it all. So be aware of that when you're trying to find your true calling. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Capricorns. This eclipse is happening in your fifth house. The fifth house is about courtship, the bedroom, pregnancy, babies, infants, fertility, school children, teenagers, young adults, just kids as a whole, millennials. Okay, this is your house. Okay, what else do we have? Romance. Also, did I say creativity? Creativity. Okay, creative projects, love affairs, and children may all be in a spotlight during this eclipse. You might reconsider your approach of self-expression, enjoy simple pleasures. Okay, my Capricorn risings. What else? In the spring with the lunar eclipse, it was affecting the Scorpio activated your 11th house of networking, shining light on issues with groups and teams you associated with. So it could be that you feel that the need to shake up a platonic bond and find a community that resonates even more with your heart. You found that feeling seem and accepted. I don't know what I put here, but that you are to be around people who are more with your alignment, because you're dealing with that 11th house. Okay, and this one is going to be more of like romances. So you deal with networking, you deal with people and the bigger picture, and now it's like intimate 101. Okay, or the being with a bunch of people in your hopes and dreams versus with children. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, courtships, babies, infants. Okay, so let's see what we have here. The first card we have here is the Three of Cups. This is a really interesting. This is like networking, but collaborating with others. Now Jupiter and Uranus is in the Taurus, is also in that same house of this eclipse. Okay, but this is saying to learn from someone young. Oh yeah, because you are dealing with that fifth house there. So this is young, creativity and romance, but collaborating maybe with someone who you're romantic with, collaborating or learning from someone who's younger than you. Okay, that's the card that I have. I hope you guys it resonated with you guys, and let me know if you have any questions. I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Aquarius, your eclipse is happening in the fourth house, which is the home, your house, your apartment, your garden, your land that you live on, your family, household, hometown, homeland, origins, ancestors, roots, your mom, women. Changes related to your home, family, and emotional foundations are likely. It could be a time for addressing family issues and your sense of security. What do you feel safe? Okay. Now, Jupiter and Uranus is in that same house. So remember that something is unclipsing there, and it's covering up. Partially will be revealed, especially when you have that Jupiter moving into in May. Okay, so let me pull something Aquarius. Ooh, Queen of Swords. Be yourself, okay? But this time add some nurturing aspect to that Aquarius energy. Be very nurturing. Also go off of your intuition. Also go off of your intuition and spirituality, nurturing. What else do we have? Compassion. So intuition, compassion, yes, and be nurturing. Okay, with the way you are, the fact that you're so social, the fact that you're out of the box thinker, the fact that you can communicate. Aquarius energy is very social with networking and all that stuff. So but now you have to add the aspect of the feminine energy, which is internal. So add the internal to the external, basically have that balance. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Pisces, welcome. This is happening. The eclipse is happening in your third house, the house of communication. So it's also dealing with brothers, siblings, sisters, cousins, the media, the internet, because it's about communication, short journeys, communication, like I said earlier, telephones, if you are on Zoom. Okay. I was about to say Skype. You guys really don't know what that is. But this eclipse will impact your communication and relationships with your siblings, your neighbor, your community, and your very intimate environment. Not necessarily your house, but what's outside of your house. You might need to address issues related to these areas, having boundaries. Okay, that's the super strength. Pisces need to use that. Okay, use your voice with this. Now this in spring, it was inspiring. Okay, wait. In spring, the lunar eclipse lit up your ninth house, which is complete opposite of the third house, and now it's in the third house. It really, guys, really wants you to have balance, right? And the ninth house was all about the world, not the community, or publishing, not the writing of the book. Okay. Ooh, the sun. Now, either the sun is going to bring a bright light to this, is going to bring a big energy to this, or let me see, actually, let me pull up your chart, Pisces. The sun is in that ninth house, could be representing the ninth house issues, right? So it could be representing the big world, could be representing traveling, could be representing the internet, like I discussed earlier with the internet. Yeah, but that ninth house is where the sun is. So, like foreigners, foreign countries, publishing, translation, export, immigration, or the sun could be highlighting the themes of that house that the eclipse is happening in for you, in that third house, right? Also, the sun represents like a new, like giving fertility, birth to something. Is usually very positive. So there's a lot of drive and action here. Very masculine energy. It's like, everyone look at me, I'm here. So it's very big and grand. This card is very positive. It's not negative, but it's highlighting something. Okay. And let me see what else we have here. We have the Hierophant, and Hierophant, it represents Taurus. Yeah, let me look at this Taurus. Yeah, the Taurus is in that third house. It's almost like God wants you to have balance. Really focus on both, where the sun is and where the Taurus is, because that's what the Hierophant represents. So you really have to practice balance in both your community and the world, okay? The bigger picture versus the smaller picture. That's basically, in a nutshell, what your reading's about, practicing balance, okay? I hope that resonated with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. That is the end of this video. If you want more, click the link in the bio because I have more. Also, I have a Patreon. So if you're into tarot, click the link for the Patreon because I do eclipse readings on there. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye.